Greetings, everyone, from San Antonio. The Spurs playing host to a Western Conference affair here at the sold-out AT&T Center. With Brett Barry and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan, and David Aldridge will be joining us on the sideline as well. And it's another road game for the Grizzlies. Everyone on this team is pleased with the beginning of the season. They're playing so well right now, 5 consecutive wins.
You know, they've had an absolutely ideal start to this season. They were fresh and ready and motivated from day one, and you know what? The results have been there for them.
And with tip-off coming up, we've got just enough time to hear from our good friend David Aldridge on the sideline. D.A., take it away.
Well, Pau Gasol is one of the real humanitarians in the NBA. An ambassador for UNICEF, he concerns himself with a lot more than just basketball. Jerry West said of Gasol, you can feel the warmth, the goodness in him. A real gentleman. If you're around him, you can't help but like him. Kevin?
A gentle giant, David, for sure. Thanks. And what a treat it is to be able, Brent, to call this matchup tonight. These two teams are the best in the league.
Now, these are two teams, Kevin, who we expect to see playing deep into the postseason. They have veteran leadership. They have good young talent. And, of course, they have an orchestrator over there as their head coaches who have them pointed in the right direction.
You always talk about chemistry, too.
Well, that's a big help. No team that wins a championship does not have tremendous chemistry.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting 5 on the floor. So on the floor for Memphis. Conley out there with Ennis. Then there's Chandler Parsons. And it's Green, and it's Gasol. And at the 5, roaming the paint. Here's Leonard. And that one comes up a bit short. Memphis with the ball. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
And really an emphatic win for them, especially considering that it came in an opponent's building, and there's no question it was their offense that carried them.
Absolutely agree. They cruised to the win on the strength of a total team effort on the offensive end. Didn't matter what unit they had on the floor. All 5 guys in sync.
Well, great to see. Wouldn't it, GA, Mike Conley remain with the Memphis Grizzlies, the team that drafted him, developed him, and with that ball club, with that culture there, he's developed into one of the best point guards in the league.
Yeah, and there was a lot of speculation that he was as good as gone. He said he wanted to see what other moves they'd make to improve, but he was pleased with their summer in the draft as well as free agency. And, of course, his 5-year, $153 million contract, the richest in NBA history.
And here's Leonard. Michael Conley getting his 3 to go. Here's Gasol. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And Gasol is a master at utilizing his strength inside, forcing the defense to become physical with him whenever he has the ball in deep.
San Antonio shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
That free throw good from Gasol.
And this last offseason, Pau Gasol coming over to the Spurs in free agency. It seems to be the exact kind of player that the Spurs would want on their team, especially with his basketball IQ. Pau liked the fit as well, and it didn't take long for him to join San Antonio.
Gasol drops 2. And for Gasol and the Spurs, it was actually another Gasol that was prompting Pau to join the team. His brother Mark told him, go to San Antonio.
Yeah, and what is strange is that Mark is very much on a team that rivals the Spurs. So I don't think Mark was doing it just so he could battle his older brother 4 times a year. I think he meant what he said with the Spurs. They are a great organization and would probably make the best fit for Pau at the end of his career.
Conley, the pass to Green, and stolen by Aldridge. And here comes Leonard, leading the fast break. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And the foul goes against Memphis.
Well, coming into the league, Kawhi Leonard was not a perimeter shooter, but he's developed into one of the league's finest. No longer a spot-up threat, though. He can create some offense on the block, able to handle the ball and bully smaller players with that massive frame at 230, just moving defenders around.
That one is off. And, Brent, you look at the growing offensive role for Kawhi Leonard. For as many touches as he gets, he hardly ever turns the ball over.
Well, have you seen his hands, Kevin? How would you get the ball away from those things? You just don't find players who can score in isolation, space the floor, and protect the ball as well as he does.
And he sinks the second.
Getting to the foul line more and more these days. Kawhi has become the complete package.
Out to Conley. That's tipped. Fast break, here they come. Ginobili left side. Down low, here's Lee. That shot off the mark. Some solid defense from Randolph. Here's Baldwin. Another shot, Martin, and he uses the glass on the layup.
Well, this is familiar territory for him, scoring off the second chance opportunity.
The Spurs have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. And Mills kicks to Leonard. Puts it up from 12, and the jumper is on the mark.
With a D right in his face, Kawhi couldn't care less. That's the expressionless assassin we've come to respect.
Conley, the pass to Baldwin. Conley with it. He's coming off a 31-point game against Charlotte.
And you could tell the defense was really nervous dribbling or passing the ball anywhere near him in that one. He took advantage of their indecisiveness continually throughout the night, racking up 3 steals.
The three from Mills. And that does it for the first quarter. Grizzlies lead by 6. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. The Gasol brothers, Pau, talked about the joy of sharing the NBA stage with his brother Mark.
It's like a dream come true. It's hard to really picture it. I'm just proud to be Mark's brother, and I'm proud of what he's become as a basketball player and as a man.
Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way two of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become two of the best centers in the NBA at this age.
Especially when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers. I mean, they traded him to Memphis for his brother, and that does all seem like fiction, doesn't it?
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And taking a look at the Grizzlies' performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
A lot of tough D being played by them so far. It's been the difference maker.
Very physical, very active. Their defense has all the components needed to get stops.
They've got Simmons. Pau Gasol is out there with Anderson. Then there's Ginobili. So that's who San Antonio starts the second with. And Zach Randolph, once a double-double machine, had a harder time producing at that same rate last season.
True, but he has aged well overall because he's a power guy whose game relies more on skill and instincts than quickness.
Well said.
And the difference last season was that he couldn't sustain energy for as many minutes per game. He can still dominate for stretches at both ends, but just not as long.
Daniel Green, he's checked in for San Antonio. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe. Spurs trail by 7. Outside Gasol. He kicks it to Green. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. 5 to shoot. And here's Simmons for 3. No good that time. And the Grizzlies leading by 7. It's now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kawhi Leonard keeps getting better year after year. The 2014 Finals MVP said, "I'm very confident with where I'm at. Every time I step on the floor now, I know I can be a factor. Offensively, defensively, shooting threes, working my way into the post, setting other guys up. Kevin, he can do it all."
He's grown into that role of franchise player, DA. Great stuff. Thank you. As the NBA, Brent, becomes more and more of a skill game where versatility is so valuable, you certainly fit that description as a player. Do you like the way the game is going in that regard?
I do like it, Kevin, and I'll return a question to you and ask you if you think that the skills of the players are just more honed than they were maybe 25, 30 years ago because of their availability to these specialized coaches. This was not the way it was for that generation of players.
Excellent point, but have the rules even enhanced it more that players can show more of their skills now?
Yeah, there's no question about it that the league has tended to go towards being able to allow guys freedom of movement, off-ball movement. The flow of the game is much better. The three-point shot, as we've talked about at length, has opened up the floor, and you get to see the grace and athleticism of some of the game's best.
Here's Parsons after Pau Gasol's bucket. And Parsons gets it to go. Parsons got the lead up to 8 now for the Grizzlies.
Well, the pick didn't exactly neutralize the defender, but good concentration on the finish to still get the basket.
Now here's Anderson. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Now the dish to Gasol. Kicks to Green. Fires from deep. Gasol with the rebound. And the Grizzlies leading by 8. Three-pointer. And it's Gasol with the rebound. San Antonio's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Gasol's got his second basket of the night.
And the long arms that Gasol has is what allows him to drop dunks on defenders. What a powerful force close to the rim.
Off the pick, and Gasol lays it in.
Defender must have felt like he ran into a brick wall right there. Really great screen set to give his teammate the wide open shot.
Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. Out to the right wing. Anderson the screen. Knocked loose. Tries to save it. And here's Ennis. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Feeds it to Gasol. Here's Harrison. And so that brings the first half to a close. It's the Grizzlies. They lead by 8. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Pop. What do you need from the second unit in the second half?
I just want to have a semblance of motion so that they know where they're going and the ball moves. They don't play in a crowd. Just basically see if they know what they're doing.
Well, I'll find out together. Thanks, Pop. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We're going to break. It's Memphis out in front at the half. They have a solid 8-point lead. Shaq, give me your take.
You got to like their offense efficiency. They were patient, took good shots. That was reflected in their high field goal percentage. They just need to keep playing smart in the second half and close this thing out. Don't get cute now.
Kenny, how do you think San Antonio played?
Poor efficiency on offense. That's what jumps out at me. You aren't going to win many games shooting under 35%. Bad shot selection, too much one-on-one play, not finishing with authority. Now, these are correctable errors. They could choose to come out in the second half and completely flip that script.
And that about wraps it up, as the second half is just moments away. Now down to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew, and we will see you after the game, won't we?
Yes, we will.
Yes, we will.
The second half just about to get going here. Pau Gasol with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And even though the defensive pressure and attention was squarely on him in that first half, yet he's still able to be the most effective player on the floor.
Yeah, I just love the fact that he takes pride in his game. Those things keep him motivated to operate at this very high level every time he's on the court.
And the Grizzlies leading by 8. So the Grizzlies 5 right now. Chandler Parsons out there with Green. Then it's Ennis. Then it's Conley. And it's Gasol out at the center.
Well, a tough year for Danny Green in 2015-16. The worst shooting numbers since his rookie season in the league. I expect a bounce back from him at some point. He's too good to not let that happen.
Here's Ennis after Pau Gasol's bucket. Green up on top. Aldridge is covering. No one near Conley as he lets it go. Great look, but off the mark. And Brent, after signing that 4-year, $40 million contract, a lot of people thought Green left a lot of money on the table.
Well, given his play last season, he played a bit down to the contract, if there is such a thing. I think it's a blip. With LaMarcus Aldridge joining the team and Kawhi Leonard feeling himself out, Danny Green will get back in that slot quickly.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Greg Popovich has set the standard with more than 1,500 career victories. Last season, he set the record with his 18th 50-win season, passing Pat Riley and Phil Jackson. Pop told us that I've been here a long time and I've had good players. That's the formula. Getting the players is difficult. I've been fortunate to have good ones. Guys, he's no glory hound. He knows what makes success.
No, but he can take a lot of the credit regardless. DA, thanks. Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. David Lee checked in for Gasol. Ginobili comes in for Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Stolen by Carter. And he finished it off with a lay-in. Carter's got the lead up to 8 now for the Grizzlies.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
Carter against Leonard. Ginobili right side. Just 5 to shoot. And Lee with the basket on the assist by Ginobili. And Coach Greg Popovich named the new head coach for the U.S. national team for the next 4 years. Brent, I bet you like that selection.
No, I love that selection, especially with Pop's military background. And he's been an assistant for Team USA since 2002. So he's done a lot of great things in the pros, but I know Pop takes a great deal of pride, not only in his country, of course, but certainly in coaching that team.
Here's Mills following the score by Memphis. The pass to Lee to the inside. Here's Leonard. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on Zach Randolph.
And the defender was slow reacting, didn't fully account for Kawhi's quickness. Slow played him and gets to the free throw line.
And you ask Greg Popovich's coach, he says he's never coached a player who improved as rapidly as Kawhi Leonard.
And that's saying a lot. Remember, Tim Duncan won the Finals MVP in his second season playing alongside David Robinson. But by all accounts, Kawhi is just a tireless worker. You know, while he was at San Diego State, Kevin, he brought 2 lamps from home to the gymnasium because they wouldn't turn on the lights early enough for him to get his workouts in. Now, that's what I call a gym rat.
Martin's checked in for Memphis. Leonard hits them both. And Brent, you look at how the Spurs played last season, and any other season they might have had the best record in the league.
Well, they did have the best record that Greg Popovich has had as a coach with San Antonio, with 67 wins. And it was under the radar because of the Warriors' historic mark last year with 73. but it was the first time in history that the NBA had two different 35-win teams at the midway point of the season. It set up the stage for an epic showdown, and really some people let down that never happened.
Memphis leading by 8. Carter kicks to Conley. 15 seconds left here in the third quarter. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
And really just a lack of awareness on his part. Just no idea he was right near the line.
Now here's Parker. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. He dishes it to Leonard. With 1 on the clock, count that one.
There just aren't many guys that have a more devastating mid-range game. Leonard has fine-tuned that shot to where it's almost automatic.
And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Grizzlies lead by 6. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
Cut, play. You just like something magical is going to happen. Okay? You got to make things happen. Let's score here. Let's go get some stops.
And Greg Popovich putting the responsibility on his players to take more action. We'll see if they can get it done.
Yeah, he wants them to just take charge of this game. Don't be passive. Impose your will on the game.
Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. Leonard and Aldridge, the 2 stars at the 3 and the 4. Parker out there with Simmons. And it's Gasol at the center position. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Here's Conley. Kawhi Leonard making his last shot. Down low, here's Randolph. Yep, it counts. And the Grizzlies lead by 6.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
There's the feed to Leonard. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a 3-point play. It's going to be on Zach Randolph.
And this is who he has become. Leonard, with the great body control, takes the hit and still able to sink the shot, and 1.
Green, he's checked in for Simmons. The Grizzlies also changing it up. Marc Gasol's checked in for Randolph. JaMychal Green comes in for Jarrell Martin. And it's James Ennison for Vince Carter. That free throw good from Leonard. Here's Conley. To the paint. Here's Gasol. Basket good.
Excellent use of the fundamental bounce pass. Totally in rhythm.
On the free throw, no good. Spurs trail by 5. Parker dishes to Leonard. It's rebounded by Memphis. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Ennis kicks to Conley. And Gasol now top of the key. Parsons on the wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. Conley gets the bucket.
Boy, this game has really started to heat up. I didn't think it could get any more high scoring than it already was.
Yeah, I looked in my rearview mirror and defense was sitting in the back seat, so got to give credit to both offenses there.
And the shot is good.
Yeah, the assist by Parker, just brilliant. Really seeing his teammates out there.
Memphis leading by 6. Here's Conley. Inside. Here's Gasol. Rebound by Parker. The Spurs have gone 3 of 4 in field goal attempts since getting things started here in the fourth. A 3 from Leonard. Again, Leonard missing. The Grizzlies shooting an unbelievable 70%. You won't see a performance like this too often. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Conley.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
56 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Parker kicks to Leonard. Back to Parker for three. Sinks it. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within three.
Huge shot by Parker there at a moment when his team needed one. A big-time player who welcomes any challenge that comes his way.
Nailed from three-point land.
It only took them a few seconds to answer the three ball with one of their own.
Wow, more threes in the NBA? Who knew? Teams trading tray balls.
Ginobili's checked in for the Spurs. And the Grizzlies also with the sub. Randolph is checked in. Now Ginobili. Aldridge a screen. And it's Leonard at the elbow. Shot, high post. Offensive rebound, Spurs over Randolph. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. And so they choose to intentionally foul. Here are the Grizzlies with the ball. 6-point game. And that's an intentional foul.
That's his second personal foul. Shooting for Memphis, James Ennis. Taking 2 shots.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he gets them both, and it's an 8-point game. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They're losing by 8. 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Simmons passes to Mills. The three. They grab their own miss. A 3-ball. It's good from beyond the arc.
Look, for years, he has been the go-to guy with the game on the line. Ginobili coming through there.
And they go to the intentional foul.
Shooting for Memphis, Wade Baldwin. Taking 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
He hits the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 7-point game. San Antonio calls timeout. They're behind by 7. Just 4 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, they can call all the timeouts they want, but really, I don't think it matters at this point.
Still got to finish strong, though. Play with a bit of pride.
And Mills kicks to lead. Lets it go with a 3. Misses. So it's Memphis picking up the win. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for him, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Mark. The team seems to really have a good rhythm going. What's been the key to success?
We're working. You know, we sacrificing for each other. I think we're doing a better job on that. And you know, we don't get much practice, but we're getting good work in.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of time to practice during the season, but it's not showing up on the court. You guys are playing great. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. And now time to go to Ernie Johnson, who's alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Welcome back, friends and neighbors. Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith as we move forward to the Marc Gasol. Everything his team asked of him, he delivered, which obviously isn't a surprise, but that makes it no less a beautiful thing to watch.
There's not many legitimate centers in the NBA anymore, but Marc Gasol is legit. You got to worry about him everywhere on the floor. He'll beat you with his D or his post game.
He executed the game plan as a scorer. It was by design that the team was going to try to get him good shots, but it was going to be up to him to make those shots. But I don't think anyone thought he'd make them at that high level of efficiency.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew, the best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.